Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. This is Chris with Christopher JV Art. And what I've done here so far is the watercolor, the blue watercolor tinted piece of watercolor paper is now taped to a piece of foam board, and it's at an 1.5 inch incline, so some of it will fall down. And what I've done so far is I have some two different waters, and I have some mixed colors up. And what I've done is taken the rims of I'm going to be taking the rims of different sized glasses and dipping them into this and setting them on here, and then slowly spreading it out with some water and a round brush, and it gives this effect of a bubble. And so right now I'm getting some more water. It makes water pretty murky, and you want to change it out frequently. Have a spray bottle on hand. These are the colors that I'm using. I have them mixed here, and I may have to wipe those up and redo those after a second one. But here is Iridescence at its finest. What inspired me to do this was I recently painted bubbles with the iridescent effect in acrylics on a black background, and I said, hey, I wonder if I can do that with watercolors. So here I am, and I'm making the attempt, and so I'm going to show you how I did this in several different sizes, and we may have a page full of bubbles, or we may have something that goes terribly wrong. So I think I'll do one more of this diameter, but I don't think that I will take the whole thing on the paper, but maybe like this, just like that. So I'm gonna wipe this. So what I want to do is take my cleaner brush, get a little wet, chuck some water off on my sponges. I use sponges to take a little bit of water off, to chuck it off. And I just want to use this water to pull some of this color towards the center. Don't worry about how it looks or what colors you're getting, or if it goes muddy. It's just a painting, you know? It's just a painting. That's all it is. And all this is practice. All that I'm doing is practicing painting. And see, the watercolor base wants to come up, and that's good. That's good that it does. I have lots of I have lots of paper towels and tissues on hand to do wiping, and we want it to be whited out here and there to give it lighter effect on one side and dark on the other. And so I'm going to throw a little bit of purple here on this edge. You pull it in. But I would just, painting is not fun if you stress about things, if you stress about how it looks. It becomes not fun. And so just paint something. Make a nice picture. Don't worry about how it turns out. And these aren't gonna look the same. You can use this to dab some of that up, lighten it up, and then use more water here. Spread it out. Give it a round pull. give it a nice round look. There we go. I've also, for very, very tiny places and bubbles, I've been using the round brush like this. Wipe it off in between. If you just use the round brush. These are more distant bubbles. But we're not done with the colorful ones yet, so let's get started with some more. So I'm just going to reactivate some of these. That's the cool thing about watercolors, is if they dry, they will reactivate. Alright, use this guy. No, actually, I want to keep using that one for the rounded parts. I'm gonna fix that a little bit. There we go. So let's get some more purple in here. Purple. Wipe this off. Clean the brush off. Get some more red. I may throw a little bit of the vermilion in it this time, give it a more orangey look. Then bring our orange here. Yeah, I like that better. But we don't want them all to look the same anyways. Nothing in nature is the same. So, and one more color. Grab some of this green again. We're gonna dab some of this mud up from the middle. Throw a little more sap in there. Now, green and yellow next to purple will create a brown. So that's why I'm changing this, because after doing two of those two colors. Now, this one is slightly smaller, but it's not. I'm gonna run this one in right there, like that. There. Wipe her off. Even though watercolors will come off of everything, so I wouldn't worry about that. Give that spot a spray. Clean water. Let's start pulling this color in. Just run that round brush, let it do its job right around these edges of this color. Pull some water in here so you have some and then pull the reds and oranges down towards it. You're just getting slight colors of it right now. I wanted to dry on me pretty fast. So I'm going to take some of the purple. I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to take some of the green. And we're going to use this swiping rolling effect. Okay, now that's the bubble, or whatever you may, is wet. So it's really allowing that water to spread. I'll roll this off here. They're all gonna look different. They're all now with some clean water, I'm gonna wipe some of this out with the brush first. Just like that. And you can use the paper towel and the tip here. I wouldn't recommend using household paper towels though. For any painting, I found that these leave fiberish stuff on them. Grab you from the store, any auto parts store, a package of shop towels, the blue shop towels. They're sturdy. They don't leave fibers in your paintings, especially oil paints, but this is fine. So I'm gonna get some clean water. I'm gonna run this in here. I know that these look like they're the same size, but they're not. I promise they're not the same size. This one's slightly smaller. Now this is gonna blur because it crosses this one, but I'm trying not to rub too much. Now what I wanna do is pull some of its green across this surface. Across this one's surface, so it looks as if it's crossing its plane. And some of the purple. There we go. And but you can still see the other one through it. So this one's already taking on the effect of being light in a different spot, and that's all right. Watercolors are a challenge to learn. I kind of like the way this one already looks. Like I want to leave it, but you know, I'm gonna wipe some of it out still. I did not like that. There. Now I'm just gonna grab some of that and take it out. There. Just like that. I don't even think I need to take that. There. Just like that. Just like that. See? They all have their own textures, their own look. This is going to be quite different on the acrylic background. I'm going to have to use some white gouache for that to give me my whites and bright effect. As I can see, those are looking pretty cool. I'm checking out to see if it's still recording. Okay. We're going to pop some more color. Now they're getting smaller, so we're gonna go with just the green, orange, and red, and purple now. Maybe slightly some of that more opaque yellow in the orange, but we'll go this here. And we may throw dabs of that yellow in there. Possibly, but it's not really implied a need for it because then we're going to go straight just the brighter green this time, the pale green, because we can lighten it. There we go. Now, clean that off. Mostly clean. There we go. So let's go down here like this. Bloop. Bloop. And give it another go. There we go. Wipe it off. This is fun, isn't it? We're having fun. I really like this effect. I'm really liking watercolors lately. I used to find them a bit hard. I used to find them quite hard, actually. I never wanted to do them. Use them. Never wanted to use that medium, but they're so unpredictable. I like it now. You never know what they're gonna do. Throw a little orange up here because you just never know what they're gonna do. And see if we can even straight into the orange. Pull some of that off. Clean that brush off. Some more water up here to spread these colors out. Now go around your bubble. To the center, and then you can dab some up. If you think it's too dark, make it light. If you think it's too light, redarken it. If you're wondering, part 2 will be on the acrylic background, doing the same thing. But I mean, stay tuned with it because we could have a quite different reaction to the acrylic background than this watercolor background. And that's what I like. I like to witness and learn how these different mediums react, how they react with each other, how they react with me. How they react with me. Yeah, they have their own language with me. They sometimes say, I'm not gonna work like that, man. You're gonna have to try something else or try another day. And I just have to say, okay. Put the brushes down. Hold this color in here like that. Woo! There we go. Look at that. We got purples, reds, oranges, greens, blues. All the things. I like it. I like this. But I mean, leaving some hard edges, some soft edges. I feel like this one I want to make very soft. Maybe throw. There we go. More water to that. You can do different things with these brushes. You can roll them. You can swipe them. You can swirl them. If you're swirling on the edge of one of these, be careful because you don't want to take away too much of its round effect. But remember, you don't have to be perfect here. This is supposed to look like a painting, not a picture. You make a mistake, don't worry about it. Clean it up later. Give it an odd effect. That's fine by me. I like that. Yeah, that is cool. Put some in between. You can even give them some swirly effects. All right. Now, maybe we'll take and make some smaller. This may be too wet for my taste, but we're gonna go and pop it in. Wipe that off, come down here and get different colors. That didn't work out well, did it? Let's reactivate some of that green. Roll that green right there. There we go. 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 Having fun. Having fun. Making some watercolor bubbles. Now, because these colors are similar, I'm not going to try and pop too much color over that and pull it across because it's essentially the same color there. But you can still do a little. I'm not going to stress it too much though. Darker up here though. There. I was watching a show. I don't know what kind of shows everybody's interested in, but I was watching a show called Your Honor on Paramount. It's a pretty good show. If you have Paramount, give it a try. Bryan Cranston. It's a good show. So, anyways, soften this one. I think too simple. I want to have green. Some green here. I want that green next to that. Excuse me. I think I'm not wearing a headpiece microphone. I'm blowing your ears out. With some red. There we go. Mix those two together. Pull them in. And we'll take the center out. Easy. Yeah. Easy. Although, coming there, I want to eliminate that edge a little bit. Lighten it. I should be wiping this off so I don't blop my hand in it and then run it around the painting everywhere. And then I've got these weird color specks and you're like, what do I do with that, Chris? But as Bob Ross said, we don't make mistakes. Just happy accidents. Welcome to my friend the tree and the bubble. Happy little bubbles. Happy little water bubbles. If y'all like Bob Ross, you should check out some of his earlier painting before he did the wet on wet style. You can do a deep search on the internet for it, I believe, and find some of his traditional stuff that he painted before he did the wet on wet. He always talked about it in some of his shows. He talked about, he talked about his whole life. I liked that, man. That was another good watch, was the Bob Ross documentary. It was sad. Dude had a good life, though. He had a good life. And a bad life all at the same time. So these are the bubbles. Okay, and we're gonna go for a few more little guys. I should be blopping these on here one at a time, so if I do, then it makes it easier to blend them. Ugh. Murky brush. Muddy. It's alright. That's what these colors do when they conjunct. They blend anyways. They make a murkiness. Take some of the yellow, throw it in there. I'm thinking I should cross one more of them. Oops. That was a lot. It's okay, easily fixable. Everything is fixable. Everything is all writable, and everything is awesome. These colors. I think I just want the center of this one to have a light spot, but I want the edges to stay dark like a couple of the other ones. So yellow. Cross a little guy at the same color. And then you darken the edges. Ooh, I have that problem. I am not too careful, and I set my hands in my own painting sometimes, but I did not. Just barely. And then we didn't mess it up. Look at that. So these bubbles are just cruising around in the water. That's why I did a background like that. Now, I better do what I was trying to do with that round brush is I'll take this little fine guy and just put some little blobs that you can barely see. That you can barely see in that paint, and then it wipes away that blue. They just look like maybe some background fish bubbles. Who knows? Hey, I should do a fish. They're pretty iridescent. Their scales, feathers, things that are iridescent. This is really fun. You can turn it. Make some of them more white by using more water to do it. A little more lighter. I know you can probably barely see those. I don't know. Let me look here. Oh, you can see some of them. Cool. And then today I'm going to choose to do right here. And we'll just pop this signature in with my dark mauve. I love mauve-y colors. I really love them. They're cool. Taking purple too. And there we have watercolor iridescent bubbles. What do you think of that? I think that's pretty nice, don't you? Well, thanks for watching, and join me in part 2, which will be coming out soon. I'll be doing the same thing on the acrylic background that I showed you earlier today in the preview. This is how I do it, And you can take it and say it's junk, or you can say, hey, that's a good idea, and I'm gonna put my own twist on it. That is great. I encourage you to do so. But I'm Chris with Christopher JV Art, and thanks for looking. Goodbye.